Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market. But let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX just to see where we are for pre-market. As of now, it looks like we're trying to come down here to find support. We're breaking out of a gathering spot. Let's say that. Let me see if I can make that a little bit bigger. So we are breaking out of a gathering spot here, which support was around the 2145. Looks like we're breaking under that. So I always say, where are the trouble places for the VIX, right? So to the downside, 2136 could be our support area. If we lose that 2115, under 2115, we can come back and retest 2102. Under 2102, 2075, under 2075, 2064, 2053, and 2029 or 2030. Under 2030, we can come back to this previous gathering spot here, which is around 2008 and 2001. So that's why those lines are very close to one another. Now, if we lose this area of 2001, we can very well come back to 1990. So those are to the downside. To the upside, we would definitely need to, if we break back above, let's say that above 2099, then we've broken through that 20 EMA area. We could very well find resistance around 2170, again at 2181, 2199, and this ATR trailing stop that's forming here at 2208. Those are places to the upside and to the downside that I will watch for the VIX. Again, the VIX gives us an idea of kind of like what's going on with the SPY, right? So if you trade today, I always say trade carefully. So we are now looking at the SPY. We closed at 573.17, and it looks as if the SPY came down and bounced off of a support area only to go back to the upside, but we're having some issues, as we knew that we possibly could, right, around the 573 area. So that 573 it's going to be a trouble place for us, which it is, right? To the upside, where are the trouble places? Beyond 573, 573.31, above 573.31, 573.45, 573.70, 573.92, 573.92. We'll have trouble around 570. Let me see. Yeah, 573.92, 574.22. Those are going to be trouble places to the upside for the SPY. And if we break past that 574.22 area, it brings us back to a gathering spot here around the 574.34. So I would definitely, those are going to be possible trouble places for the SPY to the upside. Now, if by chance we break to the downside under this 5 EMA, 572.79, if we could possibly find support at 572.63. Again, around 572.41, which is right where that 42 area, right where that 20 EMA is, looking at this 30-minute chart. Under that 572.42 area, 572.12, 571.86, which is right where that 50 EMA is, right there. So under 571.86, we can come back to 571.59. Under 571.59, 571.45, which is right where our ATR trailing stop is forming. It's a lot of support at this 571.40, 571.45, 571.39 area for the SPY. So I'm going to set an alert under that, because in my opinion, that's kind of like a strong area. We have different layers of support is what I like to say, because there's a lot of lines here that could possibly hold us up and we can bounce from there. So if we should break that, that means we've broken through a level of support. So if you trade the SPY today, again, y'all know I always say trade carefully. In the market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. We're now looking at Tesla. Tesla closed at 244.50, and it too is trading in this gathering spot today. I think we have Fed minutes today. So again, anything is possible in the market. So as of now for Tesla, it looks like our support area is at 243.83. We broke through that slightly, that 244 level. So I would definitely watch that for Tesla. Our trouble place is definitely around the 244.30. Yeah, 244.33. We're having trouble in that area. I said 244 to 244.33 is the trouble place for Tesla. Now, if we break back above that 243 area, we could very well find resistance around 244 57. If we break that 244.57, we can come back to this area of 245.17. If we break the 245.17 for Tesla, 245.63. If we break the 245.63, we can come back to this area of 246.25, 246.55, which is kind of, bringing us back to this 200 EMA on the 30-minute chart at 246.81. Now that 246.81, 246.93 area is kind of like I would like to say a strong resistance area, because we have a couple of layers of resistance. Let me say that. Yeah, so those are going to be trouble places to the upside for Tesla. Now, if by chance we break to the downside, where are the trouble places, right? So if we break under this level of 243.81, just know 243.27, and again at 242.94, 242.66, 242.24, 241.85, under 241.85, 240.89, under 240.89, 240.70. Those are going to be trouble places to the upside and to the downside for Tesla. So if by chance you trade Tesla today, trade carefully, right? So we are now looking at AMD. AMD closed at 172.80. We have a pre-market high of 174.54. AMD is climbing, right? So where are the trouble places for AMD? Right now we're finding support at this 5 EMA at 173.93. So this is our, I'm going to see if I can mark that. This is our gathering spot here that is forming here and here, because as you can see, price went, we do have a wick at the top that tells me that's where our sellers were here. So price came back to this gathering spot. So this is the zone as of now, that pre-market that AMD is trading. So the trouble places to the downside is if we break under this 173.72 area, we can come back to this zone around 173.32, which is not far from the 173.17. This is our another layer of support for AMD. Now under 173.10 or 17 area, we could possibly come back to the 172.72. Under 172.72, 172.25, we have the ATR trailing stop at 172.15 and a previous support level at 172.07. So there's a few layers of support for AMD at that 171.76 is where I'm going to set an alert to let me know that it has broken through a level of support to the downside. So under the 172.15 area, my alert is at 171.77. If we should break that level, we could very well come back to 171.39, again at 170.89, 170.33, 170 even, 170, and then the 169.54. Those are going to be support places for AMD. And if we could very well just keep climbing for AMD, let me say that. So if by chance we should go, bounce from here, this is our support area, that 174.36, 174.54, we could come all the way back to 177.53 or 177.60. So if you trade AMD today, I would definitely watch those places. Again, not financial advice, just educational purposes. I would definitely watch those areas, just if it were me, let me say that. So let's see where we are with NVIDIA today. NVIDIA, it closed at 132.89, and as you can see, this is our gathering spot here. This is where price has been trading today, and it's a very tight range, which is interesting that buyers and sellers in those candles are very, very small. So it wouldn't surprise me to see us come back to the downside, just my opinion. So we're on the trouble places as of now for NVIDIA. We would definitely need to get back above this 134.44 area to know that, we could possibly find resistance at 134.91, 135.67, 136.43, 137.14, beyond the 137.14, 139.12, beyond the 139.12, we could have trouble at 140.38. So those are trouble places to the upside for NVIDIA. Now to the downside, under this level of 133.68, which is really close to this 20 EMA right now at 133.47, we could find support here at 132. 89, under 132.89, 132.59, under that, which is right where that ATR trailing stop is. It's really not far from a level that we have marked at 132.33. So I would definitely watch this level for NVIDIA. If we break under 132.29, just know we could find support around 131.81 or have trouble around that area, 131.99, which is really, really close. So yeah, NVIDIA, I would definitely watch around the 131.18, 130.92, 130.60. Under the 130.60, we can come back to 129.91, and again at 129.19. So those are trouble places to the upside and to the downside for NVIDIA. And again, I look at support and resistance on a much smaller scale, because when I'm in the trade, I need to know where my trouble places are. And again, I do look at it on a bigger scale, but right now, in my opinion, I need to know where I'm going to have trouble, or where I could possibly, again, nothing is guaranteed, where I can possibly have trouble if I am in the trade. So let's look at Apple today. Apple has been trading in this zone here. We have resistance around the 225.98, and support was here around the 225.40. So right now, this is our resistance area, around the 225.48 area. If we should lose this level of support, I would say around the 225 area, 225.13 area for Apple. We could very well come down and have trouble around 225.07, beyond the 225.07, 224.93. So all of that is kind of close, right? So I would definitely set my alert here under 224.80, 224.69. Let's see. And I'm going to set that below 224.82. So if we break that level, then we've kind of broken through several layers of what could have been our support area. Only, we could possibly have trouble here at 224.69, under 224.69, 224.58, under 224.58 for Apple, 224.31. Now under 224.31, we can come back to this ATR trailing stop at 223.86, which is right at a previous level that we had marked at 223.84. So the 86 and 84 is right there. So yes, I would definitely watch those areas for Apple to the upside and to the downside. Let's see how much Apple normally moves on average per day. The ATR for Apple is $4.75. Again, that could be in either direction, up or down. So if you trade Apple today, I say trade carefully, right? So let's look at Meta just to see where we are today. And it looks like this is our gathering spot for Meta as of now, 591.80, 591.98. Up to this level here of 592.98. This is the zone that we've been trading in here. So where are the trouble places? Now, if we, continue moving back to the upside, we can have trouble around this 593.62, again at this 594.29 and 594.43. If we break the 594.43, we can have trouble around 596.85. Yes, so if you trade Meta, again, I say trade carefully, that 594.43 and 596.85, we could have trouble in those areas. That could be our resistance area. Now to the downside, if we come back, under this level of 591.98 or 592 area, we can have trouble here around the 590.65, which is 590.70, right where that 50 EMA is. And under the 590.70, I have got to get my 590.70, we could have trouble around 590.02. Under the 590.02 for Meta, we could have trouble around 589.08. Under 589.08, we could possibly find support around 588.01. Under 588.01, we can come back to this previous gathering spot around 586.97 or 587 for Meta. So if you trade Meta today, again, I always say y'all trade carefully. In the market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. Netflix was interesting on yesterday. So if you traded Netflix, I say congratulations, because we came down here to find support around the 703. Let's see, we have 702.98. And the low of this candle, and that was right at 9 o'clock. This is our 9:30 candle from yesterday. The low of this candle was 703.55. So we came down in this zone, bounced from here. So if you got into Netflix, that was a really, really good trade, because the low was 703.54 and the high was 725. on yesterday. So Netflix gave a really good strong candle at the open. So I would say if you trade Netflix, congratulations. So where are we today with Netflix? Let's say that, right? So it looks as if it's back in this zone here, and around pre-market, the support area is around 720.24. Resistance is around 722.74. So that's the zone that Netflix is trading as of right now. Now the trouble places are, if we break the 722.74, we can have trouble back around the 724.34, 725.06. If we break the 725.06, Netflix normally moves, let's see, about $15.72 per day. And it's interesting that we are, in this gathering spot on the daily chart for Netflix. So if you trade Netflix, I would definitely trade carefully today. It had a nice move on yesterday, not saying that we can't continue to the upside. Now, under this 720.24, we can find support at 719.34, 719.34, under 719.34, 718.03, under 718.03, 717.03 717.03 for Netflix, and again at 715.40. And if we break the 715.40, that's going to be an area of support right at the 715.19, which is the 50 EMA on this 30-minute chart. Again, y'all, in the market, anything is possible. I do believe that we have the FOMC minutes today, so trade carefully because that could very well move the market in either direction, up or down. So be prepared, for volatility today. Again, y'all, I hope these videos are very, very helpful. I always say we learn and we grow together. So if you could please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Why? Because we learn and we grow together. I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very, very productive day today. And I always like to leave you with this: be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.